Have you ever seen how scary a forest looks at night? Gather around and listen closely. Tonight's story is not for the faint of heart. Tiffany was a little 8-year-old girl who lived happily with her parents. The Hikes family decided to go on a camping trip to the forest. They were excited and looking forward to the adventure. The weather was perfect, with clear skies and a gentle breeze. The landscape was breathtaking, with tall trees and a serene lake nearby. Tiffany, with her boundless energy, ran ahead, her laughter echoing through the trees. Her parents, John and Sarah Hikes, smiling, set up their campsite. They spent the day exploring, fishing by the lake and sharing stories around the campfire. They hiked along the forest trails, identifying various plants and taking photos of the stunning scenery. They enjoyed a picnic lunch, playing games and basking in the warmth of the sun. Tiffany and her parents built a small dam in the lake, splashing in the water and skipping stones. As the day drew to a close, they collected firewood and prepared dinner together. The forest seemed like a magical place, full of wonder and beauty. As night fell, the Hikes family gathered around the fire, roasting marshmallows and gazing at the star-filled sky. Tiffany's eyes sparkled with delight as she listened to her father's stories about the constellations. They made shadow puppets against the tent, laughing as the shapes danced in the firelight. They sang songs together, their voices blending with the sounds of the forest night. The forest, with its serene beauty, was a place of tranquility. The calm and tranquility of that perfect day enveloped Tiffany and her parents, creating cherished memories. As the fire crackled and the family drifted off to sleep, the forest watched silently, embracing them in its peaceful embrace. That night, the Hikes family settled into their tent, preparing for a peaceful sleep, blissfully unaware of the lurking danger. The forest, now cloaked in darkness, whispered with an unsettling stillness. As the stars twinkled above, Tiffany, exhausted from the day's adventures, quickly drifted off to sleep, her dreams filled with the day's joyful memories. On the tent's fabric, shadows created by the moonlight and tree branches danced, while the wind whistled through the trees, adding to the night's eerie atmosphere. Her parents soon followed and fell asleep too, their breaths steady and calm. But as the clock struck midnight, an eerie change swept through the forest. The gentle breeze turned cold, and the once comforting sounds of nature were replaced by an ominous silence. Unbeknownst to the sleeping family, shadows began to move, and figures emerged from the woods. Their eyes glinted with a malevolent intent, and then they disappeared. Suddenly, Tiffany's peaceful slumber was interrupted. She felt an inexplicable urge to leave the tent, her eyes still heavy with sleep. As if guided by an unseen force, she quietly slipped out. The forest seemed to part for her, leading her deeper into its heart, away from the safety of her family's embrace. She was almost sleepwalking, lured into the dark thinking it was just a dream. Unable to snap out of it, she followed the path to explore further. Her small figure got swallowed by the darkness of the forest. The following morning, Tiffany's parents awoke to a shocking discovery. They realized Tiffany was missing and starting frantically searching for her. Tiffany was nowhere to be found. Panic-stricken, they scoured the campsite, calling out her name into the unforgiving silence of the forest. No answer received, only their voices echoed back, a haunting reminder of Tiffany's absence. After not being able to find her, and with trembling hands, they dialed the authorities to call for help, their voices breaking as they explained their daughter's mysterious disappearance. Dispatcher tried to calm them down and asked more about their location in order to track them down. Within a couple of hours, a special rescue unit was mobilized to comb through the dense and wild terrain of the forest. Men and women in police uniforms, with search dogs and armed with specialized equipment, began their meticulous sweep of the area. They started sweeping the forest, searching for the girl, but Tiffany was nowhere to be found. Additionally, a special diving team was dispatched to search the nearby lake. Tiffany's parents' ordeal was just beginning. As dusk settled over the forest, the search teams refused to relent. Tiffany's parents huddled together, their hope flickering like a fragile candle in the wind. The forest, now a labyrinth of shadows and whispers, seemed to mock their desperation. Suddenly, the stillness was shattered by the frantic barking of search dogs. The officers, their faces set in grim determination, followed the dogs deeper into the heart of the forest. It wasn't long before they stumbled upon a scene that would forever haunt their memories. Scattered around the area were parts of a dismembered body. Some pieces hung grotesquely from trees, suspended by wire, while others laid on the ground partially eaten by wild animals. Among the remains, they also found parts of a dismembered plastic doll, some hanging from trees with wire, others scattered on the ground, exactly the same as the dismembered body. At this point, realization struck them. The dismembered body was probably Tiffany's body. They had found her, but no one ever imagined they would find her that way. All hope died and horror took place. The air grew thick with a nauseating stench, a vile testament to the unspeakable horror that had befallen young Tiffany. The officers' hands trembled as they carefully collected each piece, their minds grappling with the enormity of the atrocity. When they found the torso, their blood ran cold. Carved into the flesh were sinister cryptic symbols, a chilling indication of the malevolent ritual that had claimed Tiffany's life. Surrounding the area, the police also found cryptic symbols engraved on the tree logs, adding to the sinister atmosphere. The realization hit the team like a physical blow. Tiffany had been the victim of a dark and twisted sacrifice. The forest, once a haven of natural beauty, had become a macabre theater of evil. The news reached Tiffany's parents, shattering their last vestiges of hope. Their cries of anguish pierced the night, a heart-wrenching symphony of loss and despair. The police worked tirelessly, combing through every inch of the forest in search of clues. The police continued their thorough investigation, determined to bring justice to Tiffany's memory. Their journey had taken a turn into the deepest, darkest abyss, and the path to closure seemed impossibly distant. In the wake of the gruesome discovery, the forest remained eerily silent, as if mourning the unspeakable atrocity that had taken place. The police officers who had found the dismembered remains of young Tiffany were left in a state of profound shock and horror. The haunting images of that night etched themselves into their minds, replaying in their darkest nightmares. For them, the forest would forever be a place of torment, a reminder of humanity's capacity for evil. Searching the area more thoroughly, police found a cave nearby. Upon investigating the cave, they found many candles, ceremonial knives, dark hooded robes, elaborately designed scepters, and much evidence of satanic rituals taking place in the cavern and in the area. It was certain at this point that many more victims had been sacrificed in the past in this forest. However, no other bodies or human remains were found. What made them choose that little girl to sacrifice in that horrific way remains a mystery, as well as why they wanted that gruesome sight to be found. Tiffany's parents, upon hearing the devastating news, were plunged into a chasm of grief and despair. The brutal end that had befallen their beloved daughter was more than their hearts could bear. Consumed by anguish, they withdrew from the world, seeking solace in isolation. They relocated to a deserted wooden cabin on the other side of the country, far removed from the memories of their once happy life. In their seclusion, the days blurred into endless nights. The walls of the cabin became both their sanctuary and their prison, echoing with the silent screams of their loss. They avoided all contact with the outside world, their minds trapped in a relentless cycle of sorrow and remembrance. The laughter that once filled their home was replaced by an oppressive silence, broken only by their whispered laments. The community that once rallied around them slowly moved on, but for the Hikes, time had ceased to heal. They lived each day as a shadow of their former selves, their lives fractured beyond repair. The forest, with its secrets and shadows, had claimed not just Tiffany, but the very essence of their family. After Tiffany's parents deserted themselves, they were never seen again. But whispers in the village spoke of a dark presence that consumed their souls, leaving behind only echoes of their tormented screams. Somber tone. The forest, now a cursed ground, holds their restless spirits, forever haunting those who dare to enter. But the forest still holds many dark and sinister secrets. Will you dare to uncover them? Subscribe for more chilling tales and join us as we delve deeper into the mysteries that lurk in the shadows. Also, don't forget to like our video if you liked it and leave a comment beside. Till the next one, stay safe, folks.